When did she say I don't like the term liberal?
Back when she was running against Trump.
She said, I don't like using the term liberal. I would prefer to be called a progressive.
Yes.
When did she say that?
I just told you.
No, you said when she was running against Trump. Like if you're like,
do you want an exact
did
date?
Hillary Clinton?
Oh, dude, you're not going to find it that way.
Does not like to be called a liberal. Why wouldn't I find it that way?
Are you using Google or what are you using? Because Google ain't going to find it because...
Oh, really? Google's not going to find it?
You would have to be more specific.
Then did Hillary Clinton say she does not like to be called a liberal? What should I Google then?
During an interview. An interview.
It was in an interview?
An interview. Mm-hmm. He said, I don't like that term, liberal.
Are you sure it was in an interview?
I'm a progressive, yes, and it was.
It was in an interview where she expressed her preference for the term progressive over liberal.
Yes,
that was at the DNC. That was at a Democratic primary debate in 2007.
Okay.
She said,
"Now you're talking about how someone identifies."
This is what she said. I consider myself a modern progressive, someone who believes strongly in individual rights and freedoms, who believes that we are better as a society when we're working together.
Okay.
So that's what she said.
Yeah, and let me just give it to you this way, Pop, because I think Popcorn, just listen to me for 2 seconds and then you guys can argue. I think this is a better way to describe it. Like, you're so focused on liberal is not the same as progressive. I think those terms can be used. Some people would identify as a progressive liberal, or maybe, hey, liberal seems to be something that triggers the right, so maybe I'll drop that term and I'll say I'm progressive. You know, like you're talking about how people identify. Each person can identify.
Conservative.
Yeah, people can identify differently. But here's the point of the difference between a conservative and a progressive, right? A conservative is saying, specifically conservatives in the South, who've been the same people who were profiting off the transatlantic slave trade. They are saying in the 1700s, when the Constitution was ratified, right, the people who were recognized were straight, white, male, Anglo-Saxon Protestant landowners. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I like that women couldn't vote, right? And I, as a conservative, I want to conserve that. When you hear like legal views, I'm a constitutionalist. That's people saying in the late 1700s, when the Constitution was written and who it recognized, which was essentially white male landowners, I don't want to progress from that point. Right? Conservatives say, I'm going to dig my heels in and I'm going to conserve the way things were during the original writing of the Constitution. I am going to dig my heels in and stop progress. I don't want equality. I don't want women to vote. I don't want to create equity, you know, for people that suffered through the transatlantic slave trade. That is the difference, right? Progressives, we want to move forward, create equity, create equality, create opportunity. Conservatives say, I like the way things were in the 1700s, you know, when 3/5 of a black person was a person.
Right. So I guess what I was trying to get at is the term liberal has been redefined over decades. Nope. It has, because the traditional sense and definition of liberal is limited government, free markets, individual liberty. Would you agree?
Of liberal? No.
Yes. Okay. No. So it's a quick Google search.
No.
Look it up.
I'm literally looking at it right now.
Okay. So what you do is look back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and even 80s. The term liberal meant limited government, free markets, individual liberty, protection of rights, all that stuff, right? Y'all would call it classic liberalism or classic liberal. Now the new definition.
No, I need to help you. Hold on. I need to just help you. No, I need to correct you because I'm not wasting my time. You are now reading, you were Googling things and now you're talking about neoliberalism, right? That is something to do with finance. And let me help you. Neoliberalism is conservative, right? Neoliberalism was Reagan saying, don't worry, things will trickle down. Just let the free market market. You just were Googling the word liberalism and you are confused now. You're in finance and you think anywhere I see the word liberalism, that's relating to progressives. It's not. Neoliberalism is conservatives and it's the onset of globalism.
So
you're lost. Stop Googling things. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm cooking you and you don't like it. So protection of rights has what to do with finance.
Yeah, that is happening or it's not. It's what are the others? Something's happening up here, Popcorn.
How does the protection of rights fall under finance?
Okay, fine. Let's go down this rabbit hole here.
Let's
go down this rabbit hole here, Popcorn. Let me follow you down your bullshit rabbit hole. All right.
Fall under finances.
Okay, great. Hold on.
No, you can't answer.
Hold on. Let's follow you down here. Who is advocating for individual rights in the United States?
I would say the Republicans.
You would say Republicans are advocating for individual rights in the United States of America.
Yeah, like boys playing girls sports, men playing women's sports.
No, hold on. We're not going to go down the trans. I want to go. I want to go. I want to go a different. I want to go.
That's bigotry.
Yeah.
Now you're just
being bigoted because you don't understand. You don't understand biology. So that.
Oh no, I do. I have 2 daughters and I got a son. I'm married. Been married 23 years. I have a mom,
great.
2 sisters.
Fantastic. And
that has nothing to do with biology, but thank you for giving.
Where did you get your biology degree?
Family tree.
Well, one, you don't need a biology degree to know that men.
If you're going to talk about biological issues, you should probably have a biological understanding of the world around you. Correct?
So when I tell you 2 + 2 = 4, do I need a math degree?
No, because that's simple third grade math. And what I'm saying is that you have a simple third grade understanding of biology.
It's simple first grade education. Boys are boys and girls are girls.
So how does intersex work then?
It is.
So how does intersex work?
So
no, Popcorn. Answer me this, biologist. How does intersex fall into your definition of biological people?
Do you know what intersex is? Do you know what that means?
Yes, we all know what that is.
Okay, what is it?
First grade. So that's somebody born with both parts.
So how do they fall into the binary man, woman, male, female?
Okay, so now you're lumping in men pretending.
Well, how does it work?
No, I'm not. I'm literally asking you.
You're pivoting.
No, because I'm not pivoting, Popcorn. You said that there are men and there are women, right?
So how to treat that?
Hold on. Right. Yes or no? Is that what you said? There are men and there are women. That's basic biology, right?
Yes, and then everything else is a birth
intersex
defect.
People work then?
Well, that's a birth defect. And I would say that that should be handled on a case by case basis. But boys who were born boys who grew up to be men pretending to be women, that's a separate issue.
Is Lainey around here anywhere? Because I would really like to have.
And I can tell you, I can answer because I read medical studies all the time.
I would just like to have a
if she is
representation up in here to talk about.
No, but I do want to say, let me just tell you, just so you believe that. First of all, I don't like the word defect. Right? That's not correct.
It is what it is.
It's not.
Literally not.
It's literally not.
No, that's normal.
It occurs. Yes, you just got it right. It occurs naturally in nature, just like home. Yes, it occurs naturally in nature at an average percentage of times. People in the Homo sapien genus are born intersex. Yes, that's a natural occurrence.
And so
just like we know through hold on, I'm not done, Popcorn. I'm just telling you facts about actual biology. Just like we know that it occurs naturally, right? People are born trans naturally, and we know this through medical studies, an average percentage of times in the Homo sapien genus. This is a natural occurrence.
Okay, and so individuals that were born male should
You said it's not a defect. It's not a defect. That's just
happening.
Yes, I promise you that shit's happening. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Okay, but can we just agree that you were completely wrong about what you said about intersex folks and about trans people? That's a natural occurrence, an average percentage of times. It's not a defect.
Right.
You feel like it is.
Yeah.
It's not a defect. It's a natural occurrence in Homo sapiens. Period. For hundreds of years.
Lakin is here?
You feel weird about it. That's what you meant to say.
No.
I love Lakin.
No, I don't feel weird about it, but I will say,
thank you.
Hold on.
Is being born
No, Popcorn, you definitely feel weird about it. Now,
yes no?
you go on mute because someone's going to help you learn
yes
something.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
It's not. Hi, Lakin. How are you?
Matt, hey,
Be a birth defect. Yes.
Hey, Popcorn, hold on, because I'm going to let you talk with Lakin now, okay?
So I don't have much time.
But this won't take long.
Popcorn, you're going to have to shut up.
Popcorn, I've seen you in many lives. You don't listen, for one. Two, many people have talked to you about this, especially Lainey. So what do you not understand today?
The fact that
Lainey has already talked to you about this?
Yes, and he got dog walked.
And
yes,
and you're still coming up and spewing this same bullshit?
But
he dog walked scientific fact.
Yes. No, so what Lainey and I were talking about was the case in Georgia about the woman in a coma who is pregnant and
Lainey
not pivoting to your weird other things.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's what Lainey and I were talking
about.
So I don't know what Lakin is talking about.
Lainey has dog walked you on the trans topic.
I've never talked to Lainey on the trans topic. You get the wrong
That
person.
is the only thing Lainey talks about, pretty much.
No, me and him talked about the
who?
Her. Do not. First off,
yesterday?
do not
what?
misgender Lainey. First off,
That's a dude.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Nope. Done. Nope. See, and it's that simple. I'm not platforming bigots. It's that simple. Fuck you,
He
Popcorn.
has been
Somebody
going
block
around
him, please.
to a ton of different platforms, and Brett has dog walked him on the 2A debate. Like, he's everywhere.
Yep. No. Fuck that shit. No, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm done playing. I'm not gonna sit here and try to change the mind of a fucking bigot piece of shit. Nope. And that's how you do it. I'm not platforming bigots anymore. If you come up and say some out of pocket shit, you're gone. I'm not having there's no debate with that anymore. Period. I'm not the one.
He doesn't listen.
Yeah, I'm not the one. Lakin, I appreciate you coming up, bud. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, buddy. You too.
You're awesome. Have a great day.
Bye, Lakin. Love you.
Bye.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. CDC and Pew Research, 0.5 to 1.2% of U.S. adults identify as transgender. 1.4 to 2.7% of youth identify as transgender. In Europe, 0.3. I mean, all of these, you can look up statistical analysis and understand this. Like I always, which it's very different, like how you identify as your gender versus sexual preference. But another great example is like Homo sapiens, that's humans, but we are still animals, right? And homosexuality also occurs naturally in other mammals, right? And you can, the percentage of which homosexuality occurs in other mammals, like dolphins, is pretty much on average the same as it occurs in Homo sapiens.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird that once you get in, and you can look up the studies that show that, you know, like, and again, trans people didn't just appear. We talk about this all the time. Yeah. It used to be that if you were left-handed, right, in the Spanish Inquisition, they were unaliving people for being left-handed. So that, you know, that you would never admit to being left-handed.
Not allowed to be left-handed in the early 1900s.
And so now it's very similar with autism, right? Like in the 60s and 70s, if you were autistic, you were being put in sanitariums or insane asylums and unalived. It didn't behoove you. There was no benefit to saying, hey, I'm on the autism spectrum.
Yep.
But as time has marched on, because people are like, why are so many people suddenly autistic?
Yeah.
No, we just stopped making it super scary and unaliving people and committing to them to a life of torture if they were on the autism spectrum, right? We just got better with our diagnostic tests and how we identify people on the spectrum, right? Science has marched on. We have learned more. Same with trans people, same with left-handed people. All of a sudden it's okay to be left-handed. You're not going to be burned at the stake for being a left-handed person.
Because I would be burned at the stake.
Why popcorn? That was super disappointing. Popcorn, everything you said, you should say, I feel like.
Right.
I have all of these bigoted feelings. I'm scared of things I don't understand, and I'm about to yell a bunch of them at you.
Yeah.
That's what you should say before you go in anyone's lives. Like, hey, I have all these feelings I don't know what to do with. They're probably pretty bigoted, and I'm about to yell them at you. None of this has to do with facts.
Or science or
anything
reality
else.
Or anything. It's, no, that shit was crazy. Yes, left-handed people have rights also, God damn it.
Remember what we were talking about with conservatives and progressives? He can't get past the political spectrum. Like, and then he's like, and now let me yell it. The whole time he was waiting to be a bigot.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, I know.
Is it time for me to be a bigot?
If you just wait long enough, they will expose themselves in the worst possible way. Because here's the thing, and this is how modern day conservatives in the United States think. It's either this or that. It's black or white. There is no nuance. There is no, there's no spectrum of things. It's either you're this or you're that. That's it. That's all it is. And there is absolutely nothing in life, in this world, in this universe, that is this or that. Nothing. There is not two people that fall into everybody is like this or everybody is like that. It doesn't exist.
Before science marched on, like, what is the word for left in Italian? It's like sinistria, like the sinister left hand.
Right.
Because they believed anyone who was using their left hand was demon possessed. And then what happened? We went ahead, popcorn, and we marched on from that bigotry. And then we're like, oh shit, I guess we can't discriminate against left-handed people because that's making less and less sense. Like, who's the next people, right? That's what happened. It used to be gay marriage. Remember with popcorn, you were yelling about the gays getting married, and then what happened? The conservative Supreme Court was like, up, a burqa fell, and then you're like, shit, we've got to other some other people. Like, you need to look at patterns, right? That is the hallmark of fascism. There has to be somebody to other. Someone's always out to get you. And popcorn, let me say, you said many misogynistic things or ideas while you were up here. I was a Division I athlete. If the only time when I hear you care about women is to be like, what about female athletes? We have many problems in women's sports. If the only time conservative men suddenly care about women is to demonize immigrants or demonize trans people, miss me with the BS.
Yes.
Like, I will not have a conversation about women's sports with some bigot who conveniently is like, hey, I don't believe women can be raped. I discredit women at every turn. But when it's convenient for me to punch down on trans people, suddenly I'm pretending to care about women. Please shut up.
Yep. And that's the whole thing. I only care about women right now because it's advantageous in my bigotry against trans people.
Imagine like the last ditch effort against I'm sorry, why can I not remember? What's the guy in CCOT that Senator Van Hollen went to get out?
Kilmar Abrego.
Yeah, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. What was the last ditch effort? I mean, before the fake knuckle tattoos, it was, his wife filed a protective order against him. I'm sorry. We have millions of unprocessed rape kits. Are you saying that any woman who filed a civil protective order against a man in this country, should we send them to a concentration camp? Because I'm actually on board with that. I'm fine. Maybe people would stop hurting women if that was the case. If the only time you suddenly care about women is to punch down on undocumented immigrants or to punch down on trans people, you are a joke.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. That's the whole thing. The only reason, and that all of this started because one swimmer tied for 5th. That's how all this started. One swimmer tied for 5th.
And the hundreds of millions of dollars that the conservatives spent convincing people whose brains aren't working so good.
Right. Yep.
Right. Let me help you guys. It doesn't matter if you're a woman, you're a man, you are 6 koalas stacked on top of each other wearing a trench coat. If you go into a bathroom and do something creepy, it has been illegal for 100 years. Right. You cannot go into any bathrooms and be a creep. Right. That it has always been illegal.
Right.
Period. Yeah. Surprise.
Crazy.
But for some hundreds of millions of dollars were spent, particularly in swing states, convincing weird, insecure men that something was happening that was never happening. Mm-hmm. And now I have to hear about this for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I love it's like you said, the same group that are defending women's sports right now are also the ones that will take any chance to make jokes at their expense. Any chance. Pull funding from them so that they can fund their ridiculous, like, underperforming football team. I mean, listen, let me just ask this question. And Felice, I know you know the answer to this. How many World Cups has the U.S. men's national team won?
I do know a lot about this.
It's crazy, right? How many have the women's national team won?
More. And more importantly, because I know what the argument always is with men. They're like, oh no, but the men's team generates more revenue. Wrong.
Right.
When the women's team was generating and winning all these World Cups, they generated more revenue, more advertising revenue, and still were paid cents on the dollar to men.
Less. Yes. So it's crazy, right? To me, that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these conservative Republican men are really worried about the integrity of women's sports.
Care about women. Yeah. When you guys are in the streets fighting for my bodily autonomy and to process the millions of unprocessed grape kits, right?
Yep.
And to pass legislation so women can easily are believed by police. When you're helping women's causes that are actually, when you are looking at the maternal health deserts that are being created in the South by these AB laws, the rise in sepsis rates, the rise in maternal mortality, the rise in infant mortality, when you're talking about real issues that women in this country are facing, then I will take you seriously.
Right.
You are not serious. You do not give a shit about women. Oh, I love when these things. Thank you for the corgi licking my face.
Yeah, they don't.
You're just insecure.
Women, once again, to insecure men, are the scapegoat for their bigotry. That's literally it. Women are once again to insecure men the scapegoat for their bigotry. And the problem is that they're dragging women into the bigotry. You know, they're dragging other women into the bigotry.
Oh, for sure. And telling us, what's a real woman? You're being discriminated against. You know who's discriminating against me? Like the men, the white male American citizens who I disproportionately need to be scared about assaulting me. That's what's keeping me up at night. Like, if I want to be safest, I will live in a neighborhood of undocumented immigrants. They're 30% less likely to be incarcerated. Mm-hmm. Because they're trying to remain, I'm actually safer amongst undocumented immigrants than white males. We know, I was a victim of SA as a child. If you're trying to protect your child, who would you need to protect them from? Let me help you. It's not trans people in a bathroom.
Nope.
It's familial relations.
It's people dads, that have their uncles, their cousins.
Yeah. Don't worry about the people that have consistent access to your children.
Their pastors.
Exactly. That's who you need to if it was really about protecting children, I would never hear another word about trans people. Here's a study I recently. Do you know who is disproportionately assaulted in bathrooms? Trans people.
Women.
That's when you do not, and I'm talking about trans children now. When you do not allow trans children in high schools to go in the restroom of the gender they identify, they are more likely to be assaulted and terrorized.
Yep.
They are literally, trans people are in more danger in this country than children, than women, than men, than anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So all you conservatives out there, and I try to make a very concerted effort to say conservatives and not Republicans, right? Because conservatives are the ones that are out there doing this shit. Conservatives. Now, granted, the vast majority, there might maybe be one Republican that isn't a conservative, that doesn't identify as a conservative. But Republicans are overwhelmingly conservative, but it's always been conservatives that have pushed for the restricting of individual liberties. It has always been conservatives that have fought for the status quo in the government. It has always been conservatives that have been concerned with the wealth of their rich friends and not the food or lack thereof for their poor neighbors.
That's the irony of Popcorn's statement. He's like, I'm proud of Lincoln and things that happened in the Republican Party before the party switched. That was progress. That was a progressive movement, right?
Yep.
The same people, the conservatives in the South have always been against progress because they're profiting off the transatlantic slave trade and don't want to give up equity in their piece of the pie, right? So if you're proud and you like to make the absolute asinine argument about the party switch, what you're saying is, I'm a progressive. Then follow progress and you should be voting progressive, which is no longer the Republican Party. That progress is now happening on the far left. So if it's about progress, you're not
look at the geographical location of Republicans, right? Where were the majority of Republicans located in the 1860s?
the North.
Where are a majority of Republicans located now?
The South.
Oh, shit. That's weird. Yikes. Yikes on bikes. Oh, fuck.
They're the same people. They've always been in the same place down there. You guys, you can find them. They've never moved.
They haven't gone anywhere. They're the same people. Insane.
I want to say this again because I want to be clear. It's not to say there's no racists in northern states. Of course there are. It's not about there's hate. Like, I'm not saying I know every Republican's heart and Tommy's got hate in his heart. I'm talking about conservative legislation, right? That disproportionately, systemically discriminates against brown and black people, against the LGBTQIA, against lower income people. The big beautiful bill is a conservative bill for rich people to conserve, not just conserve, but transfer wealth to the top of the economy. It's the largest wealth transfer from the poor to the rich in one bill in U.S. history.
Yep.
That's conservative. That's conserving the way things were in the 1700s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. The whole argument is dumb, unfounded, and it's like you've said the entire time, Felice. They need to start their conversations with, "This is how I feel about this," because you're not coming up here with facts. You're not coming up here with any kind of intelligent discourse. You're all in your feelings, and they are some big feelings. My God, are they big feelings?
Democrats suck for you're having some you can come up here and tell us about your feelings, and then we can talk about the facts around your feelings. You are welcome to express your feelings to us. You're having some down there.
Until you get bigoted, and then you're fucking gone. Like, no questions asked. Just straight up fucking gone. So you say some bigoted bullshit, then you're out. So,
Yeah, you can come up and talk to us about your feelings, which are not based in facts.
None. You have no facts. You have no truth.
And
Nothing.
this is my advice to men, because it is men who disproportionately are being creeps in bathrooms. If you cannot go to the bathroom, like in Walmart, hold your breath, look at your feet, pee and leave, just use your bathroom at your house. I think some of you are not capable of not being creeps in bathrooms, then you should not be in public restrooms.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at anyone in the bathroom. I'm like, I have 30
Exactly.
seconds before I pass out from holding my breath. I'm not looking at anyone. I'm like, I'm running out of oxygen.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on in these bathrooms, according to guys. Like, we're not going in there and having conversations with one another. Like, if you're going into, I don't care who you are, if you're going into a bathroom and you're having a conversation with somebody in there, can you fucking stop? That's weird.
Not talk to me.
Yeah, don't fucking talk to me. I'm trying to shit. Leave me alone.
Holding my breath. I have 30 seconds until I pass out on this floor, which is worse.
I don't understand. Like, maybe I'm just missing like what bathrooms are for.
This is why conservative, I know conservative men are creepy. Like, if it sounds like you guys are creeping around in bathrooms. I'm literally like, I have 30 seconds before I go unconscious on this floor, and then more germs are on my body than I previously wanted.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
MAGA's like, someone's up to something in bathrooms, and by someone I mean me. Like, yeah, we know.
For real. And I just, like, first of all, this is, yes, these, since we're talking about bathrooms, let me just go on this tangent real quick. These bathroom bills 100% are going to affect the ability of trans people to move into and out of spaces that they need to go in to, you know, shit or piss or whatever the fuck, you know. But it's also going to affect women that don't meet this ridiculous standard of what a woman should look like, right? If you are a woman, born a woman, identify as a woman, but you happen to have masculine features, it happened to a woman a couple of days ago in, was it Louisiana? Maybe, I can't remember, where they thought that she was a trans man walking into the women's bathroom, and she was born a woman, she was a cis woman who got at a McDonald's. It was like this dad and his kid beat her unconscious. Good
job, MAGA weirdos.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this isn't just going to affect trans individuals. It's going to affect anybody that doesn't meet this Republican MAGA standard of what a woman should look like.
You can't talk about science. Like, I could go into, like, there are ranges of testosterone, right? For men and women. Like, I have more average testosterone in my body than a lot of men on the lower end of the spectrum, right? Why do certain men in this country have higher average testosterone levels? We could get into eugenics, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's what the transatlantic slave trade did. That's why black women have higher average testosterone levels, or some do, as a result of eugenics and breeding and what happened during the transatlantic slave trade. But you would have to be intelligent to understand any of this.
Right. Yeah. You have to have some level of intelligence. Like, going back to that popcorn guy, he had a third grade understanding of biology. XX, XY.
There's men and women, and that's all I got.
And that's it.
That's it. That's all I learned.
It's the same third grade understanding that they have about the Constitution. It's the same third grade understanding that they have about the economy. It's like all of these Republican MAGA idiots stopped learning in the third grade. They had one 15-minute sex ed video, and they're like, I know everything now. I need to stop learning about anything. I watched this cartoon in my third grade fucking about I watched Kindergarten Cop, where the kid walked in and said, girls have a vagina and boys have a penis. And I was like, got it. fucking kindergarten cop. Fucking nailed it. I need no other education than that. And you stopped. That's literally it.
I mean, and I think it really goes into like, I'm sorry, like the truth is that the average trans woman is more beautiful and more attractive on average, I think, than most women are in general. Like women are not, we're not super like, right. And I think men there's a lot of straight men that their real fear is due to the patriarchy. Like, oh my God, I can't possibly be attracted to someone that's not, assigned female at birth. That's my worst fear. Does that make me gay? Like, right? Like that's the types of things that men don't know how to make sense of or struggle through. And that's gender constructs. Like I'm attracted to all types of people, mainly just people who aren't idiots.
Who aren't assholes.
Yeah, whose brains work. That's who I'm attracted to.
And
Maggot, you need to think,
with somebody
why
that's
are you
a little
obsessed?
less intelligent as long as they're not an asshole about it.
Well, that's true. Okay, yeah, we could start there. Don't be a weird bigot. And then like it's like, oh, does your brain work? Well, I mean, when I say people's brains work, I'm saying like you're smart enough to not be a bigot at that point, to understand like that it's binary concepts those are constructs, not reality, right? And like I would never think, hey, this person's attractive to me, like I need to see their genitals. That's how MAGA, why are you obsessed with genitals? The last thing I'm ever wondering is like, now I need to inspect this person's genitals. Yeah. Like I'm just like, hey, that's a beautiful person.
Birth certificate, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure that this is like I'm attracted to
sorry,
you, but I need to know that you've always been.
I need to do a genital inspection because your worst fear is that you're gay because maybe you were exploring your sexuality during your formative years and you got an erection watching gay porn. And ever since then, you wondered, what does that mean for me?
Yeah.
Sexuality is a spectrum. Like, I know that's what it is. Mag, I know that's what it is. Like, let me just tell you, I've watched a lot of gay porn. And by gay porn, I'm not even talking about women and on women. I'm talking about two men having sex.
Oh my God.
I can't be a gay man. That's not possible. I'm a woman. But do two men having sex, is that sort of attractive to me? In some circumstances, sure. Now, I can't be, that doesn't make, you know what I'm saying? It's okay, right? The act of sex is erotic.
I feel like
regardless of who is engaging in that sex. I'm trying to help MAGA out with their problems. I think maybe this will help some man out there is like, wait, I'm not gay because I saw gay porn? No, you're not. You're gonna make it.
I was that weirdo in the bathroom and got a little too excited about it, and that's okay.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I think we got MAGA. We're helping them out here.
I know. I feel like they need therapy sessions. It's going to be okay. Just therapy. Because you saw a trans woman who was the hottest woman you've ever seen. It happens to me all the time. Like, yeah, they're hot as shit. Mm-hmm. I know. It's okay, though.
It's okay. You're going to be okay.
It doesn't mean anything about your sex. Just calm down.
You're not broken. Just enjoy the feeling inside of you for a second. Like, stop.
Exactly. Someone brought up a good point. It's not at the Democratic National Convention. Grindr did not break in Chicago. Grindr is a gay hookup app. When the Republican National Convention took place in Milwaukee, and if you don't believe me, you can look this up. Yes, Grindr did break. The servers did go down.
And hey, live your truth. Live your truth. Just stop demonizing everybody else for living theirs.
Exactly. Don't be angry because you find someone attractive. It's weird. Just own it.
Just fucking live your truth. Just stop trying to make everybody else an asshole for living theirs.
And make everyone fear being who they want to be. Yeah, it's okay. Exactly.
Like, hey, you know what? Good on you. I hope you got yours while you were there. All you Republicans that were on Grindr. I hope you got it figured out. Now just accept that that's okay, and move on with your fucking life. It's literally that simple. It is that simple. It's not a complex thing. It's like, all right, I don't know. Maybe I'm attracted to men. And that's okay. Moving on. Literally changes nothing about me as a person. Nothing. You can
That's
still
something
be
the
the
Patreon
UFC asshole bro that nobody wants to invite to Thanksgiving. You just also happen to be that, and you like men.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with it. Sexuality is a spectrum.
Yes.
Gender is a spectrum. It's okay.
You can still be the crypto bro that nobody wants to invite to the movie theater.
Oh, and here's the best
Be
part.
that guy.
The script of whoever screams the loudest, like when you're the person that hates trans people the most, we know that you are attracted to them. I just want to help you out. If you are the biggest bigot against gay people,
we know why.
We know why. You know what I mean? It's always the ones screaming the loudest who are like angrily
of the world,
giving themselves a Andrew Jackson at night.
I'm telling you. It's like, and listen, just live your truth. I promise you will feel better as a human if you just accept that this is who you are and you just move on from it. Be like, all right, well, this is just a part of my life. Kind of like how I like comic books. I also like men, whatever. Doesn't matter. Or women, or all of them. Like, or maybe no genders. Like, I just like people. Like, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Just live. Fucking, it's the what's the show on Apple TV about
we
soccer?
Could see Popcorn's search history on the internet.
I'm sure it's a I'm sure that
would be very telling. It's always the one screaming the loudest.
Live.
Why do you care that much? That's my question.
Exactly.
Why?
the fuck do you care?
It seems like you care more than the average person. I think you need to ask yourself why.
It's rich that they're like, all you care about is sex and sexuality. I'm like, you're the only one talking about it.
The left didn't. I love when they're like, the left is obsessed with trans people. We didn't spend hundreds of millions of dollars of ads talking about trans people. We didn't introduce hundreds of bills to take basic human rights away from trans people. You are obsessed. Yeah. And then you are, let me help you. Freud was right. Read Interpretation of Dreams. Freud was right. Decades and decades ago. You are projecting your own preoccupation and shame and obsession onto the rest of us. And yes, I will protect anyone's rights. Everyone can have the right to self-actualize, as you can. It's okay. You can self-actualize too.
Are we co-opting TDS? You know how the right uses Trump derangement
syndrome? I mean, that's just a projection of their own
derangement syndrome.
I mean, that's what it is. It's a projection of their own fears and insecurities onto everyone else.
And I promise you, MAGA, if you just accepted that that's who you are, you would be happier. You would be happier. You would feel this weight just lift off of your shoulders. Like, oh, man, I feel so much better. Like, that's one thing that I've just been carrying around with me that I no longer have to carry. And I feel better about myself now. Just do it. Just like Nike says, just do it. Just accept it. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. I
talk about this all the time. White people. Men, MAGA men, this is for you. The minute I run a statistical analysis and mathematically you are being discriminated against, when you're making 62 cents on the dollar, when you're disproportionately more likely to unalive in childbirth, whenever everything is against you mathematically, not you feel like you're being discriminated against.
Yes.
But mathematically, when legislation upon hundreds of pieces of legislation are being introduced every day to statistically discriminate against you, then I will be in the streets protesting for you.
100%.
Just like I'm doing now.
Yeah, like 100%.
It's just, that's not reality. You feel like that's happening, right? Equity and equality, when you're used to having 100% of the pie, and maybe someone's like, can I have a little piece of this pie? Like, can I vote? Can I self-actualize?
Right.
Can I do all the things that white males have been doing in this country for 100 years? And white males are like, someone's discriminating. Someone is taking something from me. Why are people taking all this stuff from me? No one's taking anything from you. They're just asking to do the same things that you've been doing.
Yeah.
And that feels like discrimination to you.
Yeah. You're gonna be okay though. I
You
promise.
guys are going to make it. I promise
We're
you'll
gonna
pull
make it.
through. Mathematically, nothing's
yeah,
wrong.
I
You
mean-
guys have all the advantages.
All of them.
And if you
Literally
really
all.
want to be in a meritocracy, it doesn't seem like you do. You guys keep screaming about discrimination and you're trying to kick all the brown people out of this country. What happened to the meritocracy?
Right. I don't know.
Funny thing is, you people get your own pie. What? What? Funny thing is, YP get your own pie? Goob? What?
What?
No, there's only one pie.
Thing
It's
is
just one
you
pie.
Get your own pie. There isn't more than one pie. It's literally
There's just
everybody's-
one pie.
There's literally one pie. And for a very long time, it's not a pie to be split up. Everybody gets their own.
Y'all take guess. Yeah, if Agpiz, do you want to work? Just reading names.
Democrats suck is back.
Yeah, just that's fine. There's like 3 people asking to request. Which one of you is the smartest of the 3 people asking to speak to us? Could you confer amongst yourself and decide whose brain's working the best?
None of them.
Yeah, AGPIZZ. You'll have to explain that name. I don't know what that means.
That's a
It's not a pie to be split up. Everyone gets their own. Goob, you're of the 3 of you saying dumb things in the comments. That was the dumbest.
There's only one pie.
What the? Do you understand how fractions work? Like, are we?
There's only one
Dear
pie.
Jesus Christ!
There's not certain rights over here and then certain rights over here.
Everyone has their own personal
Right.
Matt.
Yeah. This isn't the fucking book reading program from Pizza Hut.
This is not Book It.
Yeah, this isn't Book It, right?
There's not as many little pies. Oh dear Jesus!
This isn't Book It. This is literally just there's human rights and either everybody has them or they don't. That's it. That's it.
Can we explain the party switch? I mean, it's easy to just Google and read about it, but here's what's important. Conservatives in the South, mainly plantations, were benefiting from the transatlantic slave trade. And then, what happened was around the time LBJ, who was a Texan, became president, they were forcing the Civil Rights Act through. Right. And then a bunch of conservatives in the South who were at the time Dixiecrats, technical Democrats, were like, if you're going to give rights to brown and black people, then we're not going to beat Democrats anymore. Mm-hmm. And it really is about the labor of migration of labor to factories in the North. I think that's the easiest way to talk about it as well. But conservatives in the South were perpetuating slavery. Then during Reconstruction, Jim Crow laws that would keep black people and brown people from being able to vote, or even things like read. That's why public schools are funded through property taxes. That's an extension of Jim Crow law. Right? That's saying the richest people, which predominantly were white people, their property taxes will go farther. So per student, there's more money. And in the poorest neighborhoods where disproportionately brown and black people live, there'll be less money per student. And that's why it's so ironic that white people, MAGA, who disproportionately are on the lower end of the income scale, particularly in red states, want to get rid of the Department of Education. The Department of Education has nothing to do with curriculum. Zero.
Nope.
Curriculum is set by states.
Yep.
The only thing it ever did was recognize that the way public schools were funded were an extension of Jim Crow laws during Reconstruction in the South. And what we needed to do was supplement that dollars per kid in lower income areas, or for kids with disabilities, or so kids could go to university, right? It's creating equity for poor white kids. You know who the biggest recipients of Title IX were? White women.
Uh-oh. That's a stat that exists.
So, but you're all going to make me cry. So many well-read people. I'm not used to this. I know. There's so many smart people on these lives. It's amazing. It's refreshing to not be around idiots. I know. I agree.
It is. Nice. All right. It is 3:45.
I think we can end it
Eastern
there.
Time. I feel like we're
Maga, save this up for next week at this time. If any of you come up with any genius arguments,
we'll help
just
you process your feelings.
yeah, next week, 8 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern time, where you guys can tell us more about your feelings and how you feel you're discriminated against, and then we can use math.
Tell you why using Grindr isn't a bad thing.
It's okay. It's okay to have sex with men, Maga. It's fine. You're going to make it through it.
You can do it. You might.
I do it. I did years ago. It's not great, but you can get through it. I promise.
Maybe you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, probably like it more than women do. I promise.
Probably. Yeah. Perfect. All right.
Thank you so much, Matt. Such a lovely to see you. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for being patient with me. It's only been 1,000 years since I've been live because I've been all over the fucking place.
How can I ride your coattails to the top if I'm not patient?
No, I'm just trying to learn a quarter of what you already know. So if I can get there, then we're good.
Bye, guys. I'll see you guys.